So when I'm doing my altar work, I use a lot of different oils that I personally make. And I found that that has helped me more than when I use a oil that I purchased from someone, because it's handmade with me. I am able to set my intentions and put my good energy into it, or for whatever work I'm using, put the intention and the energy into it. So you want to make sure that when you're buying an oil from someone, that that person is actually someone that you're familiar with their work, you're familiar with their practice, what they're doing and how they're doing it. So let me see if I can get my flash on. Hold on a second. Okay, so in this bottle you can see I have some cinnamon. I have a lot of herbs in here. I'm down to the bottom of this bottle. I have been using this Dia de los Muertos oil for quite some time. I mean, I've had it for probably about 3 years now, when I first learned how to make it. And this is just in one of those amber bottles. Probably that some kombucha or something came in. And I sold half of the bottle and I kept the other half for myself. So it's just basically an amber bottle. But in here I have the ingredients for the Dia de los Muertos oil. And you can see I'm down to the herbs and stuff. There's plenty of things in here. I know you see the cinnamon in here. It's olive oil based. So when I do my altar work, I go ahead and I put this, you know, on my candles. I anoint my candles with this after I punch some holes in the candles and inscribe them and everything. I put a few drops of this in here and I let it run down in the candle. So when my candles for my altars are burning, this oil is infused with this. This is one of the key things that I always use on my altar to help me connect with those on the other side. So this is one of the things that I use. All right, so another thing that I use is Florida water. I know you hear people talk about Florida water in videos. People sing about it in their songs. People talk about Florida water for spiritual work. And I've noticed that everyone uses Florida water different. But what I found to be true is that when you open up a bottle of this Florida water and you designate it for one particular use, such as your altar for your ancestors, use this bottle just for that. You know, try to just stick to one bottle. I know it can be $6, $7, $8 depending on what store you're going to, what metaphysical shop, what botanica you're going to, but try to stick to the one bottle for one use. Don't open up the bottle and try to use it for several different uses, because that's what I did when I first started. I was like, I'm going to wipe my money altar down with this. I'm going to put this on the ancestor altar, the same bottle. So just try to make sure that you're getting multiple bottles so you can use each bottle for each designated purpose. Spirits love cologne. So this is another reason why people use Florida water. There are several videos out here that explain to you the origination of Florida water, how it came about, who used it most, which practices is best in. Please look up those videos. I'm just giving you guys a short interlude of what you can use on your altar to help it to be a little more successful. All right, so skulls. Some people call them skulls. Some people call them skull candy. Okay. I saw a lot of people work with skulls on their altar, and I didn't fully understand why people were using skulls. And I'm a type of person where if I don't have the answer for something, I'm not just going to do it and then try to find out what's going on later. Because when you are doing any kind of altar work, any type of spell work, any type of shadow work, any type of anything like that, your research is your savior. Because you don't want to open up your mind, your portal. You don't want to unleash a spirit. You don't want to do something that's going to put you in a bad situation. So you don't want something to lock a hold of you. You want to know what's going on. And this is why it's important not to follow trends, but to learn and experience things for yourself. When I first started this, if you guys want to look back at the old Astra's Closets videos, I was in my closet learning, meditating, reading, researching for a long time. So whenever I do something, I have to have full understanding of it. Now, I was attracted to the skulls, okay? I was attracted to the skulls. So I was like, I want to work with skulls, but I don't really know too much about them. This was about 2 years ago. So, well, it was more than 2 years ago, but 2 years ago, I started to get to the point where I could trust my work and I could, figure out what I'm digging all in his ear, figure out what it is that I wanted to do. So, sometimes I hear things so many times and I have to keep hearing it and learning it and understanding it in order for it to make absolute sense. Because when I begin to do something, I'm going in. I'm putting all my attention into it. I'm putting all the energy into it. I am about learning it, experiencing it, and manifesting it. So I put everything into something when I'm doing it. So I didn't want to get started with this and then have something happen and I'm like, OMG, what's going on, right? Okay, so having said that, I had skulls and I now put them on my altar. Okay, I put them on my altar to commune with those that have transitioned. It is a symbol. It is a very good symbol to connect you with those that have transitioned. I've noticed that my connection with my altar and those on the altar was good, but it became better when I added this. Do you understand what I'm saying? All things are symbols. All things can be helpful. You have to be careful what you put on there, what you're saying, what words are there, what symbols are there, because in other realms, some words don't mean anything, but symbols such as this can mean everything. So be careful what you do, research. And if you want to know where I get these, I got this from, was it Ross? No, I got this from the 99-cent only store. Yeah, it was the 99-cent only store. And that's where I got them from. So about $3, but pretty nice. I like rose gold anyways. And one of the persons that's on the altar liked rose gold too. Maybe two people. So I just like that symbol and that connection. But be careful what you're doing. Stay focused and make sure that you're reading and learning as you go. Peace and blessings. Okay, so incense. Now, on my altar for my mom and my grandma, they generally like, oh, this smells so good. They generally like anything that's musk or sandalwood. So I have this for them right now. On the altar right now, it's probably going to be my main four. Great grandmother, twin sister, grandmother, and mother. Okay, they like this. They like this sandalwood. It's something about it. They liked a lot of sandalwood undertones when they're on this earth. So I could understand why they like it now. So when you're burning incense on your altar for ancestors or loved ones, you don't want to use something like this white sage. It's green. It smells good. But you want to try to stick to certain fragrances. I see some people say only use musk scents, sandalwoods. Like I have this Karma Sutra. This would be a backup because it still has that undertone in it. But these kind of little fake ones, you can use whatever you want to use. It's the connection that you have with that person. It's what they like, okay? But for these, I'll probably just burn these in the backdrop somewhere. I wouldn't necessarily put these on my altar. I would like to put a little bit more authentic type of incense on the altar. I've burned the cones, the little cones that you have when you are putting them in something like copper, brass. That's good also for the altar because it's a conductive of energy. So I use that as well. Okay, So y'all gotta forgive my counter. I got a lot going on up here. I didn't even think I would be making this video, but I think it was important and that's why it came to me. Okay, so I have ice here in both of these glasses because when my family had a drink, a cocktail, a spirit, they always filled the glass up with ice. And lo and behold, I do the same thing. I don't know, the drink just tastes better sometimes with a bunch of ice. So whenever, I don't drink often, but whenever I do, this is not Patron. This is Bacardi Silver. And I'm going to tell you why I put it in here, in this Patron bottle. I never open a bottle of alcohol without giving them some, if not the first pour of the bottle. That's just my honoring them, okay? So yesterday I had a small little shot of Bacardi like this big. I took a few sips out of it and I can't barely drink no more. So I took the rest of it and I poured it up and I thought about them, which I usually do first. So I'm going to go ahead. It's not that much, but it's something. That's the spirit for that. And then, hold on. It's important that you treat this altar like you would drink it or eat it. You understand what I'm saying? Don't pour it no dirty glass. If the glass is dirty, wash it. Make sure everything is clean. Give it presentability. So, you know, if you were the person that was being contacted, would want it, okay? So I don't do tap water. I drink bottled water. So when I do this, I pour them bottled water. That's just me. It's just my preference. It's not something you have to do. But I pour the glass up just like I'm presenting it to them if they were sitting in my living room and I'm taking them a shot and I'm taking them some water. So you have to do it with respect and dignity as if that person is literally in this room because you're contacting them for some reason. I don't know if you just want to honor them or you need help with something. But if you want help from somebody, you want to honor them properly. You understand what I'm saying? So make sure that you're doing this with some respect behind it, some good intention, some energy, some I miss you type love. You understand what I'm saying? That's important. Okay, so I know one thing I didn't mention is that it's important to have the elements of the earth on the altar. So I have a plant here. I need to wipe it off a little bit. But I have the incense, you know, for fire. The candle and incense are for fire, the water, and this is earth here. So this is a little plant that I have. And I am sorry, someone is calling me. I am going to be using this plant. I have another plant, but right now I'm going to need a smaller plant. I'm going to use a small one because I have a larger crystal that I'm going to put on the altar and I don't want it to be too much stuff on here. So right now this is my plant and I'm going to place that because you need to have something living on there. Okay, so somebody told me that. They was like, you always saying okay and know what I'm saying or know what I mean, something like that. My followers funny. Anyways, okay. So my loved ones, they like tobacco. My grandmother passed of cancer, of lung cancer, okay? But I still put it on the altar because I think she enjoys it. You know what I'm saying? People who used to smoke or passed away from things related to smoke or something like that, they still enjoy that smoke. You know, even when they were told, when they were here and they were on the earth and they were told not to smoke, they still wanted to smoke. Once you get hooked on this tobacco and stuff like that, it's not something that's easily just forgot about, okay? So I have a small little, and this is nothing but a cap of one of those little, you know, dollar store candles, but I just poured a little tobacco in here and I keep it on the altar. I have a big thing of it. I showed you guys in another video, like one of those big Patron bottles of tobacco. So everyone run out of the tobacco because they like it. Tobacco can also be used in other spells and it is just good for spirits. Spirits like tobacco. Okay. All right. Now, when it comes to crystals and stones on the altar, some people just say, put a clear quartz on here. Don't put nothing else on there. Don't get confusing. Don't try to do too much. I don't believe that. I will keep it neutral and keep this clear quartz on here. It's pretty big, huh? I love this clear quartz. I've had it for some years. I'll keep it neutral and try to put this on there. Well, I do put this on here. I always keep this selenite wand on the top of it. It's a platform. I keep it on there. So I just want to keep everything clean and pure. You understand what I'm saying? If you're not familiar with selenite, look it up. Selenite is a self-cleansing crystal. You do not have to cleanse it. You can use it to rub it up against other crystals and run it around other things so it will cleanse other things. But it is self-cleansing. It does not need you to cleanse it with any sage or any type of anything. Don't get it wet. People generally use this crystal a lot because it's self-cleansing, and I have a few of them. So this is tree agate. I use tree agate because people would say that it's good for communication, but it's also good. It looks like it's a face in here, don't it? Right here. It looks like it's well, it's good when you want to communicate for family. I think so, me personally. It's good for communication, and I take it and I pair it up with this little fluoride tower. I like darker fluoride. So fluoride is good for communication. I want to keep the lines of communication open. I want to make sure that it's pure and clean, and I want to make sure that there is no interferences with us when we speak, when we talk, when whatever is trying to come through, that it is acceptable and it can come through. I don't want any problems. You understand what I'm saying? Me and this fluoride. So I like fluoride. It really is good for communication. I remember last year I used to carry this in my pocket a lot, and people would just talk to me randomly. People talk randomly when you carry this with you. You understand what I'm saying? So if you're trying to go somewhere and you want to be in a business meeting and you want people to open up and talk to you, make sure you charge your fluoride and keep it with you, because it really is a communicative stone. All right, so that's that. All right, I almost forgot. Fruit. I bought some fruit. I cut it up. My great grandmother loved oranges. If don't nobody else on this also love these oranges, it's her. She loved oranges. She loves fruit in general, but bananas and oranges is her stuff. So I noticed that some things changed. I remembered one day that she loved oranges. Well, basically, I was writing somewhere, or either I was here doing altar work, and I heard her tell me that she wanted oranges. She just said she missed fruit and wanted oranges. And I got so sad. I was like, oh my goodness, she wants fruit. Like, that's just sad. So I went out and bought all the oranges I could. And came back and cut them up and put them on her altar. And I can't even explain to y'all what happened after I did that, because the common ground, that things that she taught me with lotto luck and things like that, she just blessed me abundantly after I did that. And I don't exploit them. I don't exploit my ancestors. I don't exploit my loved ones, those that have transitioned. But I just noticed, and I just wanted to let you guys know that's the common ground. She taught me numbers and she taught me things like that. So that's just to give you the backdrop. But she talks to me in other ways, and she helps me in other ways. She is also my protection. Don't play with her. And so she just did that. And I was like, well, wow, I noticed that things can happen, because like I tell you guys all the time, let me turn this around. I tell you guys all the time, it does not matter what someone tells you on these videos. I can tell you this stuff all day long, but if you don't see it for yourself and you don't understand it, you're not going to get it. This light is so bright. You're not going to get it, okay? So these oranges may be working for me, but the point is to tell you that find the common ground. Find what they want. Find what they need. Find what they've been lacking. Once somebody transitions, I don't think that they have all these things. This is why hell notes are important. And I think I got one more hell note. I'm probably going to burn that sometime soon, because things change. They shift. Things begin to shift when you provide things to them on the altar, okay? So I'm going to take these oranges, put it on my altar. I got everything going. I hope this video helps somebody. Like I always tell y'all, if this video only helps one person, that's good enough for me, because a grateful person will go a long way. They'll share this video. They'll tell somebody else about it. So I thank you guys. I am really appreciative for you all. Peace and blessings. Get those altars up. Get them up. I posted something on Instagram today, a little funny meme, and it says, now all you lame bitches are going to go ahead that was calling us devil worshippers last year and tap into spirituality now that Beyonce is telling y'all. She lightweight been telling us a long time about spirituality. People just haven't been listening in the songs, or maybe she was saying things and you guys didn't know what it was. But spirituality is not a joke. Communing with your loved ones, having an altar is not a joke. So I am going to make this one of my altar talk videos. I have a series. If you haven't seen any of the other videos, I'm happy, I'm crying, I'm frustrated, I am grateful. I am all the things. But these are all the emotions that run high when you have an altar. These are all the things that I have been through. I have good friends that I rely on to assist me in teaching times. I don't have a master teacher. I haven't been indoctrinated into any group. Not to say that doing that is wrong. I just haven't done it. It wasn't my path. I am learning still. I learned this on my own. I am getting confirmation from my altar. I am getting confirmation from those that know way more than me. I am still on a good track. This is a spiritual walk. This does not happen overnight. Be careful what you learn. Be careful what you try. Don't be afraid to reach out to people on YouTube and Instagram and ask them questions. People that seem to have more experience than you. You can do this. Be careful. Be careful. All right? Peace, 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 and blessings. Okay, so it has literally been 15 minutes since I showed you guys the things on the altar, like how to light it and what to do, right? And I told you that I teach myself a lot of things. So this is one of the ways that I know that something is working. Before my grandma transitioned, this was one of the last songs that she loved, okay? All right, now I don't own no rights to that song, so I cut it off right there, okay? So instantly when I got in this car, this song is on. This is not a new song. My grandma transitioned 5 years ago, okay? So it's not like this song is in heavy rotation, but she loved this song. My grandma loved Chris Brown, and she loved this song. So this is what I'm telling you guys. When you begin to do things and you speak to those realms, they will speak back to you and give you signs and let you know. If you read these books that everybody is telling y'all to read about spirituality, lighting altars, and things of that nature, they will always tell you to watch for signs and wonders. They always tell you to watch for signs. Pay attention. Pay attention to the elements, the air, the wind, the water. Pay attention to what's going on. Pay attention to what people say when you're in the store. Pay attention. Your signs are there. They're there to guide you. They're there to help you. So pay attention, you guys.